Welcome back to Craig's World. My name's Craig and welcome to my ban list today. So today we're going to be doing a few little things. Well, we're going to be doing a lot actually. We've got to, on Bonnie, now has come for the time for her to have new discs. So we got a little kit and we're going to be showing you how to change the disc. Remember we had a video where it was ticking. Slightly still ticking, but we're going to put new springs on. We're going to adjust the handbrake while we're doing it. That's one of the videos today, so we're going to get this sorted first thing. So I hope you enjoy this one. The one thing that you do have to do when you're doing any brakes, let me just unpop the... Right, one thing you're doing that you have to do before you do any brakes is you have to find this. I'll spin it round. Is your brake reservoir. Now, yes, you should have it where it's full, but as you see, fluid in there. Now, as you can see how low that is, but what we're going to have to do is, this will come apparent later on, but that's one of the steps. Now, I'm going to put in a lapse to get all this off. You've seen it on one of the previous videos. I will stop it from where we stopped, but there's no way I'll be able to do this one-handed and hold the camera. So what you do, you just you screw that up so this gets flush, and then this is a winder, and then what that does, it winds and pushes this piston back in. Sometimes you've got to have certain teeth in the kit which fit into these, and the back calipers generally do have to be wound back, but these are just pushed back. They're easier done. So that is as simple as, like I said, you just turn this just to push the piston back. And that's what, when you push the fluid through, that's why you open that pot, because that pot now will rise up because we're pushing it back. We don't have to go all the way because we're not putting new pads back on, but we are putting a new disc. So I'll just keep that safe there. And that's it, that's all that one requires. You know what? And then the ones at the back are just an 18. And a lot of people say you shouldn't hit these. This one is, that's all I got. Same again, I just got it off Bershka car boot. If you're only paying a £5 for something, and it's done the amount of brakes on the vehicles that it's done, you don't mind hitting it. If you break it, you break the gearing. Unfortunately, that you can't fix it. You just, in the summer, when it's on, go back to Bershka car boot and get another one. So as we said, that is your brake carrier. That is what your disc pads go in, and your caliper on top of that. So now we know that's off. We've already unloosened this. And your handbrake, as we know, is behind there. But because we are not reusing these discs, I would normally say with the hammer, use the back end and hit. But because we're not reusing them, it makes no difference if you damage the disc. There we go. And that's one as before, but you can still see there is a very visible lip. there compared to the new one, and that's why we're changing them today. What I will do, I'll bring this over and I'll just show you something. So, as I just mentioned, these are two of the new ones in the kit. They're from the other side, so you can see that there's a lot of wear with the brake shoes. There's still a lot on them, so same again, I don't need to replace them. You have a winder, which is here, which, as you can see, it's nearly out to its maximum as well. So when we put the new stuff on, hopefully we can get that sorted. So it's just a methodical of taking these off, and yes, wear your eye protection. I always start with these, and these are literally, you just push in and twist and they come out, and there's one there and one there, and they're locating springs for these. So I am going to put you on a as you can see, they're literally just pushed in and turned, and that's what takes those out. And there'll be another one. Where are we? There. There you go. And the new ones are on the other pack, so we can get those in. But while we're getting this off with that wire, with the new little wire wheel, you can just clean it up as we go. So there's no point doing that yet. But what we will do is we shall wind this spring back in. I think it might have found a problem. To be fair, if that's to its maximum, I think I might have just found why the problem with the disc, because if that was jammed the way it is, then it was forcing the other side to keep pumping out, and that's, I think I found the problem. So I don't want to do that because that's on tension. Okay, so the little winder, it's just as easy, as I said, while it's off, just to grease things up. So I know that works fine. One thing that I do need to do is, now we've got it all cleaned, the same that you seen before, always there's a little groove, as you might see there, that's where the disc fits into. So I always like to just give it a clean. you might have just seen, I just damaged that then. Fold it back. Like I said, these do go off eventually with rust. So but as long as you get the main stuff off, that's all that matters. After a bit run, pull them off. Makes no difference. That's just a sacrificial shield. Makes no difference. Okay. The pad, same again. What you can do first, as I always explain to you, some brake cleaner. Well, disc and pads cleaner, to be fair. But it's amazing. It is amazing stuff, that. It really is. It just melts away any crap. Just noticed. A little bit there. Okay, now we get these put back together. And we can have a fiddle about with its handbrake cable. Get those parts out. So we are going to need one new spring. You have two of those, so you've got 1, 2. You need the bottom spring and the top spring, which that spring is what goes underneath this. And if you remember when it was there, you seen the screw was fully out on that side. Always try and remember, or take a picture where it went or where it goes, because it always helps to go back the same way. But we're not going to put it all the way out like that was. So with your shoes, because these are the inside, you have a funny little ting that there, and then you've got like a little key. Now that key is what that fits into. So, and as we know, as we've seen it, as we took them off, that is at the top. So we know that that shoe is for this side. So we have our locating pin, and this on the arm where the cable comes through, you'll see it like a little scissor motion, one for each side. Push that onto there, and it will rest on this plate. So when that's in, that hole then will line up with that going through. But it does just need, there we go. As I say, I do not do these anymore without doing them, because this is how I lost my eye. So if you see that the slat is going, they're going that way, so that has to go in that way and turn. So back onto the arm, it goes through. Should be okay. every man that does this, the more you put your tongue out, the better you get it in. Really. They can be a bit fiddly, but these can be fiddly when you can't see. Go. There's one recessed on, and it's on its bottom plate, so we know that's fine. Now we can get the next one on, and we can put all the springs as and beneath on. So remember, that goes to the top, which is going to that one. Go. So that's recessed it. Now we know these go in there, but before that goes in, I do know we've the top spring to put in. And this is one of the hard ones. I find the bottom one's not so much, but this one, I don't like this one. And there are a lot of mechanics out there saying there is a certain tool for this, there's a certain way you put it in, and you might very well do, but my channel isn't for that. So that fits under there quite nice, and if I just show you that, if you can see, it fits nicely under there. So then this, we just pop that in. But before we do that, we have to do the bottom one. So that's okay. That's all right. And it's this one I don't like much anyway.
Go. Now we can take them off. So as you can see with that one as well, let's just take that. You now can see that the spring is in there and in this side. It's underneath this, and there's your plate what these will fit to. And it fits to the backing plates of these. Now the last thing we've got to put in is this little tension. I can't say tensioner, but every time that the spring holds into these tings, and it just ever so slightly moves, and that's what pushes it out. I don't so much like this part, but because it's trying to fit a big thing into a small hole, not good, especially when the spring's on. Same again, last thing, goggles. And that's it. It's just a little, you can very easily with a screwdriver onto the, and just give it a lever and it will go on. So as we can see, that is what I'm trying to say, where it fits into them splines under there. So we can wind this slightly out, because what happens now, so the caliper now will fit back over the top of this, making sure that they are all movable. Everything does move. Yes, that's in under there. It's in under there. They're all done. That's me. I'm just double checking everything, making sure that it is all buttoned and pinned in correctly. So, same again as with the new disc. As you can see, yeah, there's a dramatic difference in them. On the inside, as we said, this is where your brake shoe fits into, and then as you put your handbrake, it pushes out on that, and that's why it doesn't move. And you also have your calipers. So you use this again, because they're brand new discs, it's just as easy just to give them a little wipe to get any excess grease or contaminants which are on it. Just offer it up. That fits in fine. I just want to make sure that we've not got, it does just need adjusting.
just ever so slightly. And don't forget, the only thing that holds your disc on is that one little screw. Obviously when the caliper's on, that holds it too, but when the first time you do it and you think, nah, that can't hold all that disc on, that's it. That's it. So it is the same procedure of putting back as we did on the other one. Boy. So your carrier is the next thing. Like I say, you can clean them all up, but I just want to get this back at the moment. I just got to sort the handbrake out. I've got a couple of other videos I want to do today. And you can never put them on the wrong way, putting them back. To be fair, they can only go on one way. Otherwise your caliper will be behind here and it's not going to do anything. And because we've already done the brake caliper, we've already pulled that back. The one thing that you must remember is once doing this, before, that's why I leave the bonnet open, is just to go and put the cap back on, because then it's not it's then a closed system again. So that's them and them. That's them done. But what I will do is, before I put these back, as I always do, because this stops them from squeaking when you're going down the road. And if you remember the top tip I did on one of my other videos, if you don't know which way round the brake pads come off, the easiest way to do it is, don't worry about it. So if you remember, your caliper has a big round circle and it's going to push from the back. And on the back of the disc, if you just clean them up, you see a big round circle, and then you'll see two lines, and that's where the other, so they go in that way onto your disc. So I do it on every time you take off, put back your brake calipers or your pads. Only at the ends, and the back where the caliper is going to be, never put onto this. You can put the squirty stuff, you can put the brake cleaner, but not copper grease. So yeah, there's quite a lot I've got to do today. I've got to take Tigger's and Piglet's wheels. We're having brand new tyres fitted on all of them. that's another video. Then we've got a lot more on mouse. I'm doing a lot more on mouse today on the powder coating side, and hopefully taking the back axle off it so there's nothing underneath it. And the reason why I don't do that bit yet, because if you do it, you get on your thumb, you've got to wipe it off. Remember my old little brush? That's it. That's why that copper piece of it is. So that's the extent of what we have to do with this one. Very, very nearly done. And like I say, just these are the old springs that have come off it. But if you're going to put new discs, you might as well put the pack of them for both sides is only £8, so it's like £4 each side. And I don't mind spending that. Always remember, when you're putting this back, never have a kink in the wire. That then has to go through the top of the caliper. On this side, when I do everything on this side of the van, there's not much leeway to put things, and you've got to put, the way I have it, it's like a certain order. Everything goes back and they all go into one part. And you take them off. Never a good sign when you see a bit of wire. Okay. Don't forget, you can, if you wish, to squirt some brake cleaner into that. There you go. Lights are back on. They're done. They're done. That's on. That's on. That's on. That's done. Sorry, I always go through a little checklist. And that's it. That's the procedure of how to change your discs on a Vito. Same procedure of changing your pads, really, and your handbrake and your shoes. but because I knew the shoes was alright, it was just the springs and needed adjusting. So I didn't have to go all the way. You could do if you wanted. The kit, the spring kit was £8 and the back discs was 70 something. So like I said, the time that we took, a garage would have charged you an extra 150 or so to do that. And what I will do, this is why I leave these off. One of the last things you do once you get everything down is you go over and you can either use a bar or you can torque them down with a torque. So let's move all these out of the way. Don't forget, we still have to go underneath to tighten the handbrake up, so I'm gonna, I'll tell you what I will do while I'm here, because I know. And this was, as I mentioned, the reservoir and the float. Keep the mesh in. Because now we are not pushing the pistons anymore. That is one of the jobs which are now done. So as I explained, I've got the old box I always keep. I could put all the stuff in and take it to my workshop. Now I've just got to do this handbrake, so this is my next bit, but I'm not going to put this on camera. It's only undoing one nut and tightening it up. So with rusty discs like these on Mercedes Vito like that, remember guys, you got to work on these every day. Cheers, I'll see you on the next one. Thank you.